Yeah. So using this as a way to gauge your jokes and,
Correct.
just to switch from behavior apart from labeling,
Yes.
that will really help you a
And
lot because,
everybody loves a tasteful joke, right? I mean,
yeah,
everyone wants
yeah.
to
And
have a
Noel
hearty
always,
laugh and
yeah,
yeah,
has a lot of
yeah.
funny and tasteful jokes. So
Thank you,
it's
thank
about
you.
using the right one. Yeah. See, I say she always has, right? I'm
Mm,
not saying she's a joker,
mm.
right? I don't say she punny. I just say she always have funny jokes, right? So that's the difference. And that's for y'all to go and find out, like what do I say,
Yeah.
like use your creativity
Yes, when
to
you're
bring
using your
out.
creativity to talk about something
Mm.
in a comedy. Yeah. So yeah,
Oh, you
I
can
prefer
joke
to
about
have a
yourself.
good half. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I tend to do sometimes.
Welcome to So Like. I like, you like.
So light.
Hello everyone. It's your
Hi.
host, Khalid here.
And Noel here. Hello. So this is our weekly podcast where we share our reflections on cultivating a soulful and meaningful way to connect with ourselves and others. So this week we're actually talking about um something that is so lighter. One of our listeners actually wrote into us. Yeah, thank
Mm,
you.
thank you.
So she actually was in her email she was sharing about how she had faced this situation and she thought that
Mhm.
it might be a good topic to share because maybe others might have the same situation as her or she just wants to give like an idea lah. So she had a
Mm.
ting ting moment like us too.
Ding
In
ding like
Chinese,
Noel.
yeah, in Chinese you say 不愧是一个 like she's really a soul lighter 不愧是一个 soul
Yes.
lighter.
Yes.
Yeah, so shall we start already?
Yep, sure.
Let's talk about the topic. So okay, so how it based on how I or rather we interpreted her email was that she had this encounter with this person who was um in a way like uh hitting her limits,
Interesting.
like really
Oh.
pushing her limits. Yeah.
Mm.
So she already has issues with herself. Like she has some health issues, I would say.
Mm.
So but of course because she doesn't I mean anyone also you don't have to share your whole medical history with anybody, right?
Yes.
Especially if someone that you just got to know
Mm.
and or maybe even your longtime friend also may not know, right? So
Yeah.
it's not a must have to inform people around you. So she encountered this situation whereby she was being targeted
Mm.
for very meaningless jokes,
Mm.
even though it was meaningless, but it felt very hurtful for her.
Yeah. It triggers
So
some, yeah,
yes, correct.
mental, you know,
Mm,
um issues that she's struggling with. And I mean it's being taken care of, but
mm,
at the same time she don't feel comfortable with
mm,
all these teasing and joking and,
mm.
meaningless jokes that
Yeah,
may or
correct.
may not has targeted her as a person, right?
Correct.
The person who said the joke um just wanted to have fun, but they didn't
Correct.
realize that they're actually triggering some of the memories and some of the symptoms that
Mm,
may bring her back into that zone. So
yes.
just a disclaimer, non both of us, we are not medically trained in
Mm,
psychology or any mental institute. So
yes.
we are not giving any medical advice. We are just
Yeah.
sharing how this listener has gone through this and how can we help communicate to the people who are hurting her,
Mm,
triggering her symptoms to help
mm,
her to have a happier and healthier relationship with her friends or anyone
yes.
that may come across, like they might not know, but she's also not willing to, like, just
Open up.
list down all your
Yeah. So
medical,
I have A and B and C and D and D.
Yeah,
Like
please
these are my
avoid
trigger
saying
points.
that kind of thing. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you don't have to go like all out and tell everybody I have A, B, C, D, E,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
still be able to communicate with the person like, hey, that's not very nice of you to say, and I don't feel
Mm.
comfortable going through
Correct.
this. So we're just gonna talk a few ways of how to communicate with your friends or your family members. Sometimes they might just say things that are hurtful to you anyway. Right?
So without revealing any trauma and pain, yeah, like how to
Yeah.
communicate with them without having to like, hey, before I talk to you,
Please
I have
read
the
this.
following.
Please read my disclaimer.
Yeah, it makes it so stressful. And honestly, why would you want to share your personal health records with anybody and everybody, right? Yeah. So I
Yeah.
guess is so in her situation was that they were teasing her for her um sort of health issues and things that seem as though she had this whatsoever health issue or health problem.
Mm.
So it was meant as a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like example, maybe I mean this is not written in her email, but what I can think of is like, you every day also sneeze, you are flu bug, you are the one spreading your germs. You know that kind of thing. Like sometimes you're just
Mm.
joking, like you're just saying that like, why this person every day also sneeze? Why have sinus? Must be
So
the germ
so
germ
okay.
carrier.
So contaminated.
Yeah. So sometimes they're just joking. It's not that they're trying
Yeah.
to target you per se.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
certain
but
words
then
that they use that
correct.
can come
So
off as a label kind of thing.
correct. So as a
Yeah.
person who suffers from sinus, so I'm sure that you'll be very hurt. Like it's not
Yeah.
something I want to have,
Yeah, you
right?
think I want? You think I'm having fun? Hello? I'm not.
Yeah. So I
I
guess
yeah.
mm,
The
yeah.
sinus burns. The sinus is
Yeah.
very, very true on both of us.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah. So that's why immediately I thought of this example when we read her email. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and thank you to this soul lighter who wrote into us. So it's yeah, we it's really a very important thing that we need to talk about because we don't know when to stop and what triggers someone and what really you don't know the circumstances of that, because of the just because of like a meaningless joke. And then it can
Mm.
lead to different consequences that you may not even know because
Yes.
what are the side effects? You won't even know what's the side effects of
Yes.
that person who is receiving the so-called joke. Mm.
Mm.
So this is, I guess, sometimes we just overlook on it. Like especially in a social gathering, you're just very fun, right? It just like teasing off each other and then joking,
Yes.
bouncing around ideas of like how to make fun of each other, that kind of thing. Yeah,
Mm.
if it's done tastefully, then of course that's great. Everyone will go home being happy and had a good time, great time.
Yeah.
But the worst is that you actually make someone cry on the way back home, or
Yeah.
feeling or falling back into somewhat like a depression. Yeah.
Mm.
So in this context, we just want to share more about how to deal with such people, and
Mm.
maybe you can even take a step back, or what if that's really the case, that you feel that you should always place yourself first in terms of this because
Mm.
of your side effects, that you won't want to go home crying, right, on the way home
Yeah.
after gathering. Yeah.
I
So
think
maybe
sometimes it's
mm,
it's also like it's a knee-jerk reaction as
mm,
well. Like maybe previously, like the friends may have joked about my sinus, and then my reaction was, yeah, yeah, I'm enjoying this, I'm contaminated, stay away from me, that kind of thing. So I may have stated that, yeah, it's a fun thing to joke about because I participated in it.
yeah,
But maybe
correct.
throughout the time, while you
mm,
guys are continuing this joke,
mm.
I don't feel so good. I don't feel,
Actually, yeah.
comfortable continuing this.
Yeah.
And
I guess it's accumulation.
yeah, and then it,
Mm.
it, it comes to a point where I'm like, if I'm so like feared because of my sinus,
Mm.
then like I feel very outcast, or like I'm not part of the group, or like I'm rejected. And then
Mm.
therefore I want a different kind of reaction. And then when I change my reaction, I worry that they may like, oh, what's wrong with you today? Like, that kind of thing.
Mm.
Like,
And also
oh,
actually low self-esteem, because that's where you will start to,
yeah.
oh, I'm always so so sneezy, right? So I
Yeah.
better just avoid people all
Yeah.
in general. Yeah.
And then one day they will just, like, I'm not saying me, but like one day this sinus or this mental issue may
Mm.
develop into actually a illness or a disease
Mm.
and disorder or anything, and you
Mm.
don't want your friend to go through that. So
Yeah, correct.
yeah, it's also being aware as the person who are making the joke, to be
Mm.
aware of, like, hey, the person you are joking about, is he or she okay about it or not?
Yeah, correct.
Like looking at their facial reaction,
Mm, yes.
sometimes they may back off a bit.
Mm.
Sometimes they they may say certain words like, stop stop this, like, like it's not funny.
Mm. Mm.
Like, but maybe to you, while you're in the moment, you're like, oh yeah, it's okay, like last time you also laugh with us, right? Like, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
okay,
like,
kind of
I
thing.
mean, I
Don't
I
brush
I
them
get it.
off. Yeah,
Yeah.
just to be more aware.
Mm.
Then another time is that I realized I saw this type of scenario is the person, the victim,
Mm.
will actually vent anger, or like what you said, cry on the way home.
Mm.
Yeah, so they will vent anger, or they will express that uneasiness, right?
Mm.
Later of the day, or maybe the next few days, you will see them
Mm.
like, why they suddenly burst into anger, or why they
Mm.
suddenly got angry at me, or why are they suddenly
Mm.
ignoring me? Like, so you can think back, what are the things that you have said. It could be a joke,
Mm.
it could be something that is a meaningless sentence, but it
Mm.
meant something to them, and it
Yes,
hurt them, and therefore they are reacting this way.
correct.
Yeah, and sometimes just to be more sensitive, I'll say, like,
Mm.
I think both me and Noel, we are very sensitive people, so we tend to
Mm.
see this type of situation happening around us,
Mm.
and we are like, oh, okay, let's, either we will defend the person who is being victimized, or we
Mm.
will, like, like what we are doing now during the podcast, we can actually
Mm.
share with you how
Yes.
you can communicate with others that you don't feel
Mm.
comfortable,
I guess
right?
another way is also to practice self-awareness. Like if
Mm.
you, I mean, we encourage you to, even though yeah, you in any social context, you're having fun, but maybe you can practice a bit of noticing the body language, especially for
Mm.
people that you're somewhat targeting, like using it as a subject of the,
Yes.
the joke, right? Maybe it's good to, like you can bounce off jokes. Like let's just say maybe there are like a few of you in one group, and then you're just, hey, like one person starts and then the other person just piles and continue to pile out all the jokes, right? Just to make fun of that one person. So maybe,
Mm.
I mean, apart from being creative in your mind to think about what to make fun of, and actually saying it out, maybe you can also just take a quick look at the person. Like, is the person really okay, like enjoying the joke together with you,
Yeah.
or is the person actually starting to feel uncomfortable? So then that's where I think maybe you can step up to, like, hey, okay, I think we have reached the limit. Okay, maybe let's change the subject or what. So I mean, all
Yeah.
this, that is why it comes down to self-awareness, which is you not just do it to others, you should also reflect upon yourself. So before you actually hit someone's limit, you you should just pay attention to
Yeah,
to
just
to
be
your
more
your
aware.
surroundings. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think it's a good practice to have, because a
Mm.
lot of people, especially in our modern days, start to be very uh selfish. Unfortunately,
Mm.
everything is about me, what can be done for me, what is good for me, what yeah, everything is about me,
Mm.
me, me, right? So but we
Yeah.
can also take some time, especially if the person is important to you. You wouldn't want
Yes.
to hurt that person, right? You won't know that
Yeah.
the person might be triggered, and then what if fall back to things like depression
Mm.
and what do you call that, uh just in solitude, like just lock
Yes.
themselves out in solitude, that kind of thing, just because for them, they will keep thinking of it, like what you
Mm.
just say, and then everyone just start to pile up, and then the joke. So it's
Yeah.
actually like a broken recorder in their mind, that
Yeah.
people are targeting them in that way. So,
Correct.
but to you is you will just joke, and worst thing is next day, I got say that man. Did I say
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Oh, I
usually
tell you,
that's the
wow,
case. Yeah,
I tell
that
you,
hurts
that's
even
really,
more. Yeah, that
yeah.
hurts even. I find I find most of the victims or like me myself included sometimes when I get joked around, um in the moment you just feel that you don't want to speak up because it's like everybody's having fun and then you are the wet blanket, to like, hey, stop it, that kind of thing. Or like, hey,
Mm,
that's not nice. Let's stop there.
mm,
But I encourage you to do that for yourself and for others if you see others getting, hurt from the
mm,
jokes or the conversation or anything.
yeah,
And sometimes really it's we need to be more aware, mature human
mm.
being for our friends. And like you
And
mentioned, like
family
everybody,
and your
yeah,
partners, anybody actually, yeah.
everybody just very focused on ourselves, like
Mm,
me and me nowadays.
correct.
That
Yeah.
sometimes we may tend to forget that we are in a group of people and we can
Yes.
never, live alone in solitude. And
Mm,
the human being really needs socialization to survive.
yes.
So
Yes.
put that as a part of your important self. You take care of yourself and then you take care of others.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
So it's never just about like, oh, I'm having fun, so it doesn't matter if I hurt another person.
Yeah. Why
Then
should why
yeah.
should your fun be at the expense of others? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Correct.
think it's just being more tactful of how you use the words. Like,
Mm,
if you're joking about a certain behavior of the person, that's not so bad. So, for
mm,
example, like Noel likes to sing in our podcast. I was like,
mm,
oh, she always find funny songs to sing
mm.
about, and then we are laughing about it. It's a
Correct.
behavior, right?
Mm, mm,
I'm
mm, mm.
joking about the behavior, the actions of Noel. I'm not
Mm,
saying
mm,
that this Noel cannot get music out of her head. She
Yeah, you
bring
see
all
the
store music.
correct.
So you see, this is a labeling,
Yes.
right? So I'm
Correct.
labeling her as
Mm,
a song addict or something like that,
mm,
right? Which doesn't feel nice, be it a good thing, a bad thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The moment you put a label or something, you okay, for example, when I say, oh, this person doesn't do so well academic wise, right?
Mm,
That is the behavior I'm
mm,
using, right?
mm,
Compared to I say this person is stupid.
mm.
This is
Every
label.
time fail in class, every time last in
Yeah,
class.
every
Yeah.
time she's a failure, right?
Yeah,
So this
correct.
is a label. So when I
Yeah,
use a label as a joke, it targets and it hurts the person.
correct. Yes. Yeah,
But
that's a
when I
very good
use,
analogy.
yeah, if I use the behavior as a joke, I'm like, hey, he's always not listening to class, therefore he can't do well in test. That's
Mm,
just how it makes sense. Like then
mm, mm, mm.
he don't feel as a personal attack, like like
Yes,
why are you
correct.
labeling me as a
Yeah.
failure? It's just that I'm not interested in that class,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
yes.
that's the difference y'all can make when you're
Mm.
using jokes. I mean, you want to have fun. Everybody wants to have fun
Yeah, of
and
course.
joke
Yeah.
around. Like sometimes we tease our friends, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like Kelly always so motherly, always bring so much tissue, you kind of thing.
Mm, mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So
mm.
like, when I go out with my friends, they're like, hey, who got wet tissue? Then the first one to come out is me. Like, so they will
Uh,
joke about the
yeah,
behavior of
yeah, correct,
me
correct, correct.
bringing tissue, right?
Yes.
Not a tissue hoarder, not a
Ah.
tissue
Or
seller,
like
right?
or maybe like yeah, she every time have runny nose one, so she always need to bring tissue. Her whole bag is only full of tissue one.
Yeah. So
Note the
you see,
difference.
note the difference. Yeah. So using this as a way to gauge your jokes
Mm,
and
correct.
just to switch from behavior
Mm,
apart from labeling,
yes.
that will really help you a
And
lot because
everybody loves a tasteful joke, right? I mean, everyone wants
yeah,
to
and
have a
Noel
hearty
always
laugh and
yeah
yeah,
has a lot of
yeah.
funny and tasteful jokes. So
Thank you,
it's
thank
about
you.
using the right one. Yeah. See, I say she always has, right? I'm
mm,
not saying she's a joker,
mm,
right? I don't say she punny. I just say she always have punny. Right? So that's the difference. And that's for y'all to go and find out, like what do I say,
Yeah.
like use your creativity
Yes, when
to
you're
bring
using your
out.
creativity to talk about something
Mm.
in a comedy. Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
you
I
can
prefer
joke
to
about
have a
yourself.
good half. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I tend to do sometimes.
And even when you joke about yourself, also remember this point, because people will feed off your jokes and they will
Yes.
continue
Correct.
about your joke, and it will be
Yeah.
about you, and then you don't
Yes.
want them to use labels to joke about you. You want them
Correct.
to use behavior. So
Correct.
when you start on the right foot, they will
Mm.
continue on that foot
Yeah, I
instead of
guess,
yeah.
but I guess it's also individual. Like maybe you can start
Mm.
off the right foot, but then some way or another, the message passed the other way and then you went different way. Yeah. So but I
It
guess
went the other way.
ultimately is it's really just your self-awareness that you this is something that nobody can teach you. So that's why we encourage you
Mm.
to, after listening to this podcast, maybe you can just sit down like 10 minutes or something to do like your own reflection. Have you ever offended someone? Have you ever did something that might be sounding a bit mean? Yeah, that
Indirectly,
you
sometimes
can
it might be indirectly,
yeah, correct.
like maybe Noel is saying a joke and then I feed on it. Like, yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, like,
mm,
when you are doing this, you are adding on to the labeling. So like you are
mm,
adding layers of labeling.
correct.
And
Yeah.
it really don't feel good. And the person will just, like Noel say, go home crying,
Mm.
like
Or
repeat
keep thinking, am I
everything.
really
Yeah,
like this? Am I like this? So if
yeah,
I'm like this, then what do I do? Then you'll start to have all the negative
yeah.
thoughts. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and it's not very helpful if somebody was, has gone through trauma before, or is
Yes.
still dealing with depression or any mental
Mm.
illness,
Yeah,
or,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
even just normal human being. It's not nice to do that. So,
Mm.
yeah, we're always encouraging people to be nice, to be
Yes.
kind, like our last
It
episode.
makes a world better place.
Yes, make it a better place for you
You
and
and
for
for
me.
me and the
The
entire
entire
human
human
race.
race.
There are people who have depression. If you care enough, you think about it before you say a joke, before you say something.
Is this
Say
Noel?
properly, say the joke properly. For
This is
you
very
and
broken
for
English.
me and for everybody there. There are some jokes to say, but some jokes cannot say. Okay, this is me having my creativity again.
Yeah, so like you see, like we are using a action to joke about
Mm,
something, and we,
yeah.
we really try to avoid, labeling and stuff,
Yes.
right? So yeah, I find like sometimes, other than speaking up,
Mm.
during the conversation, for
Yep.
example, when maybe they
Mm.
are having fun and stuff, maybe you don't feel so comfortable sharing with everyone in the group that you have
Mm.
such, you know some
Uh,
trauma or
yes.
issues.
Some, yeah, correct.
If you can bring the person who is joking about you, that you feel hurt or targeted,
Mm.
into another conversation. So like maybe I like, hey Noel, you free to talk for a while,
Mm.
5 minutes?
Yep.
Then I can bring Noel privately and speak to Noel privately that, hey, actually, just now I don't feel so happy. When you said this and this, state the
Mm.
facts. Don't
Yep.
don't state your feelings, right?
Yep.
State the facts,
Yep.
and then go like, okay, actually I don't feel so happy when you said this and this about me.
Mm.
I want to let you know I am still handling this issue of mine, or
Mm.
I'm still struggling with this
Mm.
mental illness or whatsoever, and I hope you can be more sensitive next time.
Yeah, because whatever you say in the group or even one on
Mm,
one made me feel very
mm.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it,
Uh.
it triggers some part of me, and
Mm.
I don't feel comfortable sharing with the whole group, but I just want to
Yes,
let you
definitely.
know. Yeah,
Mm.
like, you can go into a very good conversation with this person
Yes.
without losing your confidence, without losing
Yes.
your self, your sense of self-worth,
Yes.
and the person can also understand, oh, okay, I'm so sorry I hurt you, or
Mm.
that person can also do something to amend what they have done. They
Mm.
may have done it, unknowingly,
Yeah, so
right?
side note for amendment, you can refer to our 5 types of apology.
Yes.
So you can
Yeah.
link it back. All right.
Yes.
Okay, yes, please continue.
So for Noel, like, after I speak to Noel, and if Noel still continues to joke about me in the manner I already told her I'm not comfortable with, distance yourself. Do it for yourself.
Mm.
Distance yourself every time you are in this group of people,
Mm.
or you are in this group of people with that particular person that always bring up
Yeah,
that.
because
Yeah.
you're already in a very
Uh,
vulnerable situation, vulnerable
yeah.
state, right? You won't want
Yeah.
you won't want to add things to trigger that which you are trying
Mm,
to get recovered from. You're recovering from it.
yeah.
You're getting
Yeah.
on the way for your healing process. Yeah, you won't want
Mm.
to go back track, right? To
Yeah.
to
So
go back
like, yeah, do it
to
for yourself.
level one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So do it
Yeah.
for yourself and distance
Mm.
yourself. Find excuses whatsoever
Mm.
to go away.
Mm.
Yeah. So if you really need to leave the group of conversation, just let them know
Yeah,
nicely.
and
Yeah.
actually, if I mean sometimes, right, now that I'm just thinking about it,
Mm,
maybe by leaving the group,
mm,
it may actually have an impact, especially if you already spoken to the person like, hey, just
mm,
now
mm.
you have that conversation that you made me feel quite uncomfortable when you mentioned this
Yeah.
joke, even though it was a joke and it was funny that everybody kept laughing, but then I didn't feel that it's funny, didn't find that it's funny. So maybe actually by leaving, like having the conversation ready, then you leave the group, it may actually have an impact because that's where people start to, oh yeah, like he or she is serious,
Mm,
that we are
yeah.
actually doing something that might really be triggering for them and
Mm,
something unhealthy for them. So yeah, maybe then that's where actually, then maybe you all can, the rest of y'all can help each other that, oh yeah, maybe we should be more mindful next time. Yeah,
mm.
we shouldn't cross the line, and then we shouldn't push the limits by just piling up all the jokes, and it's
Everybody
like it's
grow.
like a it's like a stage, like a comedy show is like a stage, and then you're just targeting one person who is sitting in the
Yeah.
audience. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. So
It's not nice. Yeah.
so yeah, maybe that's where I guess that also sort of help like the group dynamics, that you can
Yeah.
you can remind each other, you can help each other to create this self-awareness, and then that's where it will spread. Ta-da!
Yeah, and everybody grows and everybody
Yes.
become more aware and everybody
Yeah.
is more like sensitive to
Mm.
the rest of us. And
Mm.
really, I really find that especially after the pandemic, there's many people who are suffering from all these mental illness, or even just a minor incident, stuff like that. We are all suffering to a certain extent. It's just we show it or we express it out or not.
Mm.
And sometimes doesn't mean that they don't express, means that they are a-okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Like you
Yes.
just want to be more mindful.
Mm.
And like, even though if the person express it, and you just don't find that the group is doing any, like, if let's say on the reverse side the group don't realize and then they continue being so negative or like
uh,
targeting and triggering
yes.
others.
Mm.
If you are aware, if you are the more in Hokkien or Teochew we say sing mong one,
Ah.
more alert one,
Yes.
and then you realize, then maybe you can also try to like talk to the group like, hey guys, like, do y'all realize that this person is not here like most of the
Mm.
time? Is something wrong? Do we
Yeah,
need to
correct.
change the way we communicate and stuff? And if the
Yeah.
group really like, no no no, we are fine, we don't need that person, kind of thing,
Mm.
or then it's your time to leave the group, because
Yeah.
you are more aware, and you
Yes.
sometimes leaving that group and joining the person is a better choice
Mm.
for your own mental
Yeah.
health as well.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it might not happen to target you at that
Yes.
moment, but sooner or later the group dynamic will just like what you say, it will change, and then
Mm.
they will change again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happens. It's just how the social psychology work
Yeah,
in
correct.
a social setting. So if
Mm.
it in in a sense, if it ain't broken, they don't fix it, right? In a sense that how's the group dynamics
Yes.
until like the very important, impactful person leave, then the group dynamic will like really drastically like shift and everything.
Yeah.
But if you are just a small character in the group, like for example, if you are usually the one who is listening and not really like talking so much,
Participating
or
in a way. Yeah.
participating, right, in their jokes and stuff, then
Yep.
having you or without having you, not say that you are not important, but in the group dynamics to keep this group, there's that not so much of a lost, right? But if two-person were to leave around the same time, and then that's when the group dynamic will actually, something is up. Like that
Yeah.
two left, something
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we are doing something that make them leave. Like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
are
yeah.
we doing? The kind of thing. So then they will realize, then they will do something about it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, we just want to make people happy, right? Ultimately,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
the purpose that we should be heading towards,
Mm-hmm.
having a optimistic and happy life, and of course everyone living together happily. We are the happy three friends.
Oh no, no. That is very gruesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
was tricked into watching it once, and then after that, I regretted it. The whole night I couldn't sleep. I
okay, we
remember
bear
scolding
bears.
the
Okay, we
person.
bear bears.
Okay, we bad
Okay,
best, yeah.
something more mild, we bear bears. Something cute. Yes.
Yeah, cute and yeah, supposedly optimistic.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
and thank you. Yeah, I like to thank our
yeah.
Soul Lighter again for bringing this very wonderful
Mm.
and very something that everyone can relate to.
Yeah,
This
and it's
this
very
topic
close to the
and
heart as well. Yeah,
yeah, correct. That
yeah.
we
I'm
also want to
sure.
help others. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure our soul lighters, you guys have more ways or suggestions or
Mm,
how you've dealt with this type of situation
mm,
before. And we like to hear from you. If let's say you have another way that actually,
mm.
helped you, yeah, do share in the comments
Yes,
or,
yes.
send us an email like this or like the, or
Mm,
if you have a similar situation happen to
mm,
you and you
mm-hmm,
would like us to help you to figure out how to communicate better, yeah,
mm.
do let us know as well. We can keep it private. We can just message you back. It's okay. We don't
Or
have
if
to
you
put
want
it
to
on the
share,
podcast.
we can do it as an episode also as well
Yeah.
if you're
Mm.
comfortable with that. Yeah. So most
Yeah.
importantly is that um we bounce off ideas of each other, not just
Mm.
between the two of us. We also want to communicate with our audience. Yeah. So
Yeah.
don't feel shy.
Yeah, just share. And I'm sure a lot of other soul lighters can benefit from your
mm,
suggestion, or maybe really you
yeah.
done it and you tried and tested it, and
Yeah.
it worked, right?
Correct. Yes.
Sometimes our limitation is only the two of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess sometimes some topics may also come off as like, oh yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, so it's something that
Yeah.
we can share more. We can talk about it. Yeah. So yeah, yeah.
All in all, we really hope that you guys had a wonderful week, and remember to always stay soulful and
And
light.
light.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.